Washington State.
I am not high.
Are we good?
That was
welcome back. I just told a really inappropriate joke that is not okay for the times we're in.
I'm not laughing about that.
Okay. We did just make a deal. We're about to dissect our next draft, but we just made a deal off camera. The three of us that are in the worst in 10 draft, $100 tattoo bag. Whoever finishes better in the league of the draft we just dissected, the other two of the three of us will give $100 towards a tattoo.
You
can't spend it on coffee.
Record.
You can't.
And it is record.
Better record.
Not points. So
yes,
just
not overall
record.
points. It's got to be. You've got to finish higher or win the Super Bowl. But if, God forbid, none of us make the playoffs, which I think two of the three of us probably will, or all three, the one with the best record, even through the playoffs, wins the bet, and then you have $200.
But if we have the same record, whoever has the most points.
Well, then there's tiebreakers. Then points is a tiebreaker. Yes. Fair.
All right.
Let's do this next draft. We forgot to say Earl Thomas released, but yeah,
you guys know that already.
Dallas actually left the door open to pick him up,
so
but it wouldn't be. Oh, really?
Cleveland
wouldn't be surprised with New England.
Yeah,
but I think he's a great player. It's just kind of a nightmare.
And with the Buda Baker signing, I mean, that was...
I didn't even know Buda Baker was that good.
He's not. But, I mean, now, next time Earl Thomas is going to ask go to a team, what contract is he going to want? Is he going to want the best safety contract?
He's not going to get the best.
He's not. But he's going to sit there and say, I'm better than Buda Baker. I feel like I need to be...
He's not better than Buda Baker.
But he will say that.
Yeah.
Because he's Earl Thomas. He's going to want to get paid.
He's going to sit for weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to go
it's going to be an interesting
week 1 or 2 until somebody gives him a contract. So let's do our next draft. This was the Coaches 2 draft.
Coaches is an old bar you used to work at.
Yep.
It's been probably one of the longer lasting leagues.
It is, and it's changed its name a couple times. No, the draft before changed it. Yeah, this has always been... Coaches. It usually has the same people in it. We had made a couple additions. But, this one is a half-point PPR. So, do you really draft that differently with a half-point? Do or don't?
I do.
I do barely, but
I mean,
I really think.
For example, you're going to see whenever you come to me, I ended up snagging James White, who went undrafted in our last draft.
But when'd you get him?
I snagged him in 7.
Okay,
so
that's. Yeah.
But, I mean, like, he went
Are you going to start him?
No. He's a great flex
player. On a bye week, maybe?
He's a great flex player, and he makes, 5 receptions. It's still 5 or 2.5 points plus whatever yards, and if he gets a touchdown.
I just think, like, in the first round, and I'll run through the first round.
PPR, you go wide receiver stronger.
You should go wide receiver stronger, or running backs.
Dual threat running backs.
Yes,
Christian McCaffrey.
They're good receivers, which Derrick Henry is not.
Exactly. Saquon Barkley, they all are a little bit higher than Ezekiel Elliott can probably be up there, but Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry went pick number 6, but, you actually drafted Jeff's team. I don't think he would have fallen past 7 or 8, just based on his resume from last year. I don't know. There's a little bit of difference. We did a couple little things different when we drafted, but let's...
So let's go through the first round again.
All right. Patrick Mahomes, again, went first overall.
Once again, reliable. Can't be
and we're in Kansas City, so that's going to happen. Then Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott. Pretty standard. Then Michael Thomas. There was a wide receiver in there because I think Nick
PPR
did that as a half-point PPR. Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, George Kittle went around earlier this time.
Yep.
DeAndre Hopkins, Alvin Kamara fell. I don't know why.
Yeah, neither do
to
I.
10.
He probably should have been higher up, if you ask me.
He should have gone
over Derrick Henry.
Above Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook.
So
And Devontae Adams and Travis Kelce. Yeah.
Okay, so you remember last week, somebody decided to call me out and say that I was bad at cheating because you talked about how we draft for other players and stuff like that. So I got to draft for Jeff. That meant I was number 5. Jeff went number 6. So I got to go back to back.
Yeah.
And I had my pick of what I wanted to do throughout that whole draft. That's what I did with Amber. My whole mindset that whole time, I kept thinking to myself is, I need to be a good cheater. I need to be a good cheater. And I need to be a good cheater. Every time I picked for Jeff, I kept thinking to myself, who do I want to just leave him with? Yeah,
or leave for you.
Exactly.
But, I mean, Jeff still has a really good team on paper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On paper.
Yeah.
But they're players I still would not draft.
That you didn't want.
That I wouldn't want on my team, and I just wanted them off the board so they wouldn't tempt me.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so let's start with Alyssa. This is Bree's sister. This is her first time in any of our drafts.
Right.
She's a
and
newcomer.
Alyssa's so hot.
She is. She's hot. Also, I don't think she picked a single one of these players herself. I think her boyfriend next to her was in her ears like, you're taking this guy. Even though it's her team.
She was all over Mahomes. Like
she was okay. Maybe she wanted that number 1 when she took the one out of the hat. But after that, he told her what to draft every time. I guarantee it because I was sitting there listening.
He was obnoxious.
Yeah.
He kept trying to make jokes and I wasn't listening. I was too busy staring at Alyssa.
Yes. All right. So we covered Alyssa on a previous podcast. It is. It's creepy. Yeah. Number 1, first overall, Patrick Mahomes, Mike Evans, Austin Eckler, Raheem Mostert, Mark Ingram, Michael Gallup, Marquise Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Deebo Samuel, Tavius Murray, Chicago defense, Jamison Crowder, Carlos Hyde, 2 rounds
before
ahead than last one. No, Matt Prater, Jimmy Garoppolo is their backup. So,
all right. So,
we've already touched on who's injured or whatever.
My first favorite pick out of this whole thing is Eckler. I think that is one of the best picks you can possibly have, and especially in the third round.
And you got to be the third.
Like Did you
already get a picture of that board to put up?
He was going to be my.
I will capture.
So in round 3, that was the guy I had targeted as my next pick going in round 3. Is Austin.
That's
Eckler.
Great value there.
He is going to be catching. Tyrod Taylor loves checking down, so he wants. He'll get a lot of receptions.
And I think Michael Gallup, I'm sorry to interrupt, and Marquise Brown actually dropped around each in this one, and she got them later than our previous draft.
Marquise Brown is a home run receiver. Like, he'll make one big reception for a touchdown, but it'll be like a 40-yard reception with
probably
one
not great
reception.
PPR, and you think that's why he fell. Yeah,
exactly.
But touchdowns are 6 points, and receptions are half a point.
Yeah, I mean, he'll do fine.
Yeah,
I'm not
in round
saying
7, I'd rather have the home run hitter.
Yeah, the Gronkowski might be decent in PPR as well, but we don't know. She doesn't have a backup tight end right now, so that's something to keep an eye out on.
I'm not in love with her backup quarterback. I would have taken anyone but him, probably, because he just is out of weapons now.
Her backup running backs, other than Eckler, her running back situation is very questionable.
It is.
Raheem Mostert,
she has one starter,
Ingram, both kind of not. I mean, both have got other running backs behind them.
Latavius might get 10 carries a game,
and maybe a touchdown. He's a touchdown or bust type running back. Carlos Hyde could be the starter for Seattle when Carson gets hurt. So it's very questionable. I'm a little worried. I think
she could have done better after round 4 with the first pick. She
1, 2, 3 are solid.
But we can't blame her. It's her boyfriend's fault.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to give her C.
I'm going to give her a C-. Patrick Mahomes is going to be the main point
scorer. Grace for her.
Yeah, but everything else is kind of weak because she went quarterback so early.
Like Crowder, I would go with Hardman over Crowder. Hardman just to have.
I think Larissa did more with her draft, taking Mahomes first. She drafted better later than Alyssa did.
I agree with that.
Demise.
So once again, Chris McCaffrey, number 2.
Yeah, number 2 fell, and Demise jumped on it. Then Aaron Jones, Juju Smith-Schuster, DK Metcalf, Drew Brees, a little early there in round 5. Evan Ingram, Henry Ruggs III, a little early there. Philip Lindsay, Indianapolis defense. I talked him into that one. McCole Hardman. I think I talked him into that too. Brandon Ayuk, who's injured. Jarrett McKinnon.
Who the fuck is this Lazar?
It's the number 2 wide receiver for Green Bay. He's had some good years in spot play. I think that's a good late pick. Brent Roethlisberger and Robbie Gould's kicker. This is a guy, he sat at my table. He's a good friend of mine, known him for over 20 years. He was always like, all right, who should I take? And I'm like, well, you're really far away from me, but like in draft picks, but I try to help him out. DK Metcalf, I love. That's 4. Drew Brees, that was his pick. That was a little early for Drew Brees. I think
Ingram was early. I think Ruggs is early.
Dave Wahlberg got Drew Brees in round 7 in the last draft.
Ruggs went all the way down to 14?
Yeah, Ruggs, he could have got way later.
Hardman was undrafted. Ayuk's probably where he was at last time.
Yeah,
there's a lot of players he's reaching on.
He did.
And unfortunately,
he took some flyers early.
I still don't know. Like with the Schuster, it all comes down to Roethlisberger and what happens with him. Metcalf is still a solid pick, though. Between McCaffrey, Jones, and Metcalf,
his first 5 picks are pretty solid. 6 picks. I mean,
I'm giving him a C minus.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Aaron Jones, but Christian McCaffrey, saving grace. I'll give him a C minus also, or a D plus. I'm right because after round 6, BJ's draft is better after round 6.
I'm not going to give anybody below a C minus.
You're not?
So C minus is the least that I'm going to give somebody.
I will. Just wait till we get to you. Will was on Zoom and actually was on top of it. And Will actually has done very well in this league the past couple of years. Hadn't won yet, but he's good. Saquon Barkley, pick number 3. Mm-hmm. Then Joe Mixon, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Le'Veon Bell, Tyler Boyd, Javarius Landry, San Francisco defense, Marvin Jones, Sony Michel, Will Lutz. I think he did that just because they have the same first name. Hayden Hurst, way fucking late. Rounds later than I got him. That's great value. Jerry Jeudy, I like. Kirk Cousins, great backup. Sammy Watkins. See, now we see Sammy Watkins where he should be drafted in the last round. Not, was that round 7 or something? Yeah. It's ridiculous.
So
I love his first 5. I love Tyler Boyd.
See, I like Tyler Boyd. I like Tyler Boyd a lot more than Mixon.
Yeah. Marvin Jones in 9 is good.
Andrews is a little early.
A little early in 4.
Yeah, I think he would probably may have fallen to 5. But if he didn't believe he could get him at 5, I think what is it?
Yeah, but then he could have gotten Darren Waller. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I mean, I like Barkley, Jackson, Andrews, and Boyd.
I think it's pretty solid. But Cole Hardman, I think it has a high ceiling.
That was the last pick, so you're on the wrong team.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're right. Marvin Jones is
once again he comes down to Stafford. I've got too many questions on this one. I'm going to give this a C, mainly because of Lamar Jackson.
I'm going to give it a B minus, and you just hate Joe Mixon. You just don't like anything orange and black.
Orange is my favorite color, and Halloween's like my second favorite holiday. I don't have any. Even first things first. That doesn't. Orange and black are Halloween colors, idiot. So
I know, but who gives a fuck what your favorite holiday
problem is with the Bengals. It's not that. It's the organization. They have no offensive line there, and they're not addressing it. And instead, they're just throwing out a rookie quarterback behind no offensive line. That kid is going to get eaten up against 3 of the best defenses in the NFL. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cleveland. Are you telling me this kid is going to prosper? No, this kid is going to fail miserably.
Fantasy-wise, I think he's going to put up numbers.
Mixon is going to fail miserably because they're going to have to pass the ball a ton because they're going to have to play catch-up. He's going to throw interceptions. Tyler Boyd is a great pick because he will have to throw the ball towards him and hope that God he doesn't fumble it, but he doesn't fumble. Boyd is the only saving grace on that team.
All right.
Quit trying to say Mixon is going to He's not.
He is.
He is.
All right,
terrible.
Let's do Carl. Carl's a Bills fan.
Carl.
Isn't it weird? In 2 leagues, we have 3 Bills fans.
You, David, and Carl.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
You want to count how many Chief fans we have?
Yeah. Whatever. So, Carl, pick number 4. Ezekiel Elliott, Kenyon Drake, Kenny Galladay. It's Calvin Ridley. On both. Riley Ridley. Now it's just lazy. At first, the one was a clerical error. Now you're just fucking lazy. Then Robert Woods, Darren Waller, Will Fuller, CeeDee Lamb, Buffalo defense. great pick. Josh Allen. I do want to say
Buffalo pick. Buffalo defense, great pick.
It is. I wanted them. I want to say right around round 9 when Josh Allen had, I was like, I can't believe Josh Allen hadn't been picked. And I turned around to him and was like, if you don't pick him, I'm going to. And he did because I didn't want him. I wanted somebody else. I totally.
You went 3 Buffalo players in a row. Look at that. Buffalo, Josh Allen,
John Brown. Yeah. And then Matthew Stafford. Great backup. I think he's a good quarterback.
Stafford will probably start.
Duke Johnson. It's a PPR. Ashon Jeffrey, Jesus Christ, give me a break. And then Zane Gonzalez, kicker.
So if you see something here, and this is why I love his draft. After he gets his running backs, he gets his running backs,
3 great wide receivers.
Then tight end, 2 more wide receivers. All in a PPR league. This is one of the sexiest picks you will ever have for a PPR league.
And John Brown, I think he all around is a great draft. Good defense. He took it at the right time.
Yep. This is my
He waited late for a quarterback, and he got old people that are good receivers. Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
This is like the Robert Woods. We always question. Robert Woods, I will question. But when you've got Kenny Galladay and Calvin Ridley, Darren Waller, and then let's just say Will Fuller hits and he's not hurt. That's better than Robert Woods.
I'll give him an A or an A-.
I'm giving him an A. This is literally, especially for a PPR league. Anybody who's in a PPR league, this is the draft to look at because he went running back early, back to back. Yeah. So now he knows that I've got these 2 stud running backs. My rest of my team, I'm going to build up with some great receivings, and he did. And I really like his draft,
which is the opposite of what you did.
Yes,
pick number 5, Michael Thomas in a half point. That's a smart pick, but then another wide receiver, and you're smart here. You went wide receiver heavy. Kind of in that's who you did in the last draft too, and then did your running backs after. But Michael Thomas, Maury Cooper, Russell Wilson,
love that.
I don't know.
I got worried. I saw Lamar Jackson go, and I'm like,
Cooper Kupp, Cam Akers again, right? 2. Yep. Okay, David Johnson, old as fuck. James White, okay. Jordan Howard, Darius Slayton, we both love this year. Yeah. Noah Fant, I think it's Fant. Jalen Reagor, Alexander Mann, Cole Kmet. How is he not a right end? I know who he is. He's a great Notre Dame tight end. Yeah. But is he even going to fucking – No. Like that's going to be your – have you gone on waivers or replaced him yet?
No, not yet. This was
pick up Malcolm Brown.
This was kind of more of a personal idea. Like what if him and Mitch Trubisky connect? It's not like I'm not putting any weight on my team on Cole Kmet.
I know.
It's just – I'm like, you know what? Maybe they could connect and maybe something could happen. And if so,
but they're taking flyers like.
Well, all I needed left was a kicker and a defense, right? So I'm like, fuck it. Let's just see what Cole Kmet could do.
Cole Kmet was 140 players down from the people in that round.
Yeah. And I was kind of aware. No, my biggest flaw with this draft, and I love my first 4 picks.
Yeah, I do too. They're sexy.
My running back situation is just it's either if Cam Akers loses it, I've got to pick up Malcolm Brown. Yeah. If David Johnson gets hurt, injured, I've got to go find Duke Johnson, which is sitting on Carl. Jordan Howard loses carries to fucking Burrito. I'm screwed.
That's why I think it's important.
Madison is my I'm just hoping Dalvin Cook sits out or gets hurt. Madison's going to be my.
And he's always gotten hurt so far in an NFL career. So you'll get at least a couple weeks in there.
Yeah,
you just got to hold on to him forever.
I'm giving myself a C here. I love my draft.
I'll give you C+.
But I'm not. It's not the best draft I've ever had.
It's running back weak, but it's the wide receivers are fantastic. You got a great quarterback. I love your first tight end. The other one is a waste. You should have taken.
And then
OJ Howard 2 picks later.
I hate OJ Howard. I'm not going to trust that because you don't know what's going to happen in Tampa Bay.
I know he's going to score more points than Cole Kmet.
Here's my
I know that.
one.
That's facts.
I went with Miami just because I am high on them this season. Yeah. I love them.
And just to piss me off.
Well, it comes down to it. They've got one of the easiest divisions in the NFL. They address the defense. They've got a defense-minded head coach out there from New England. I'm going to give them a try in the first 2 weeks. If they fail miserably, we'll find somebody else.
All right. Jeff was next. He's picked 5.
I picked 6 for him.
Yes. And thankfully, Nick picked for him, so we didn't have another player on Zoom, which would have been a nightmare. And you want to run through that? I'm going to run to the bathroom.
All right. So
No offense.
I don't want to knock this over.
So we started with first round, we had Derrick Henry. Second round, Nick Chubb. Third round, Odell Beckham Jr. Fourth round, Keenan Allen. Fifth round, Leonard Fournette. Sixth round, Stephon Diggs. Seventh round, Austin Hooper. Eighth round, Cam Newton. Ninth round, Kansas City. 10th round, AJ Green. 11th round, Joe Burrow. 12th round, Jack Doyle. Round 13, Jason Myers.
To say Joe Burrow.
We'll get to that in a second. 14th round, LaShawn McCoy, who was signed with Tampa Bay. And then round 15, Hunter Renfrow, figure PPR league. So my whole thing with Jeff was I had him after me. And then on the way back, he was always drafting before me. So I always tried to keep that in mind while I was drafting. The big thing here, now I went with Joe Burrow on this just because I can't stand this guy. And I'm like, you know what, let's have some fun with this. I'm going to put Joe Burrow and I'm just going to draft him just to piss anyone else off.
You should have drafted him number one.
I should have. This is not a great PPR team. Personally, I think Beckham, Ian Allen, and Diggs, they'll be fine. Same with Hooper.
Leonard Fournette can catch.
But, I mean, the Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, back-to-back, that was just my gave him running backs.
You gave him best player available,
basically.
Pretty much. And he ended up with 2 running backs. But it's not a terrible team. Chubb in the second, in the middle of the second, that's where I think Chubb should be going, not at the end of the first.
Well, it was funny because I decided to draft him Chubb because if I knew he wasn't drafted, I was going to take him. And I was like, I don't want Chubb.
Okay,
I don't want that mix. I want to make sure I have that wide receiver.
Take him off the board.
Exactly.
I actually like Joe Burrow as the backup. Here's why. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games, but I think Joe Burrow this year as a rookie is going to be Jameson Winston of last year. Record number of yards and touchdowns, but he's going to have a fuckload of interceptions.
In his rookie year?
Yes.
Are you high?
That's what Mahomes.
How drunk are you?
Mahomes did it his rookie year.
No, he didn't. He sat out his rookie year and played one game.
No, the first year he played.
Yes, that's a whole year of having to sit behind somebody and train and get the speed of the game.
I don't know.
Burrow's getting thrown to the Sharks on one of the worst offensive lines. I picked him just because I want to see him fail.
Oh my God. Do you just hate Jeff?
No, I actually love Jeff.
You just described how badly you fucked him over.
Oh, yeah, totally. Because you told me I cheated bad.
You do. You're not a good cheater.
So
LaShawn McCoy is terrible.
Actually, that was the title of one of our YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
Hunter Renfrow, I love.
Yeah, the Hunter Renfrow,
that was fantastic.
That's a sexy pick, especially in a PPR league.
I said this to him like when I got home that night. We dropped me off. It was like, or I did it from Johnny's, and he was like, "Oh, it looks good. I'm so excited." I was like.
Right?
Sorry, I don't think he listens to the show.
Like on paper, you look at it and you go, okay, I'm happy with this because their names you'll recognize and you're not upset. But, I mean, half this team is either rookies or well past their prime. Cam Newton, LaShawn McCoy, AJ Green, Keenan Allen.
It's not bad.
I mean, it's not bad.
I'll give it a C+. C minus.
Gonna give it a C minus.
Yeah, because only because it's a half-point PPR.
Yeah, my lowest grade.
Okay.
I cheated on purpose.
All right.
Good cheating this time. I swear to God, if he ends up winning this league with this team,
look at the camera with that conviction.
Look at this. What conviction am I supposed to look at?
Just tell Jeff in the camera.
Jeff, if you win this league with this team, you owe me at least 50% of the winnings. Because this is a shit team. If you make this work, I'm proud of you.
I would just give you $50. I don't know, 50% of the winnings. All right, Dave Wahlberg next. He's in Wahlberg. Well, he's in 3 or 4.
He's not going to be in the Vampire League.
No, he's not. He hates that idea. But Dalvin Cook, first pick, was at 7.
Yeah.
And then Chris Godwin, Todd Gurley, A.J. Brown, Devin Singletary, DJ Shark, Jared Cook, Aaron Rodgers, Brandon Cooks, Drew Lock, Keyshawn Vaughn. This is the first time he didn't get drafted.
He did get drafted last.
No,
Yes,
New Orleans defense: O.J. Howard, Matt Gay, and then Patrick DeMarco, which is a fuck up by you. That took me 3 minutes to fix. A.J. Dillon. I don't know how you get those two confused.
I don't know.
Not even close. See, you're just getting lazy.
Yeah, I was
too
done.
much coffee.
When it comes down to the end of the season,
yeah, too much food.
You ate like 4 times. To the end of the draft,
diabetic coma.
I was ready to be done with this place.
Yeah.
I was over you guys.
God. Well, just wait till next week.
So I am not the biggest fan of this draft. I think he went way too early with Gurley.
I like he alternated running back, wide receiver because of how he alternated each one. And got Aaron Rodgers in round 8. I think that could be and back Drew Lock.
No,
I think it could be brilliant.
The Aaron Rodgers, Brandon Cooks, and Jared Cook. I love those 3 picks.
I like they're all good receivers.
I really like.
There's some health concerns with
I've got
2 of them, but they're not bad health concerns.
I mean, the wide receiver situation's fine. The running back situation is questionable. I once again, we already touched base on Singletary. Gurley, I don't know what to expect with him. And Dalvin Cook, he'll get hurt.
I like it. Now, sure, I would have taken Kittle instead of Cook. I would have, because I'm kind of down on Cook this year because of what we talked about, the contract, and he's a little injury prone. Kittle, I think, is a home run hit right there. It's 7 or 8, but. Yeah, I like Godwin. He's going to be a PPR nightmare this year.
He is. This is not a sexy pick. This is not a sexy draft by any means.
I like it. DJ Shark. He's probably going to be a top 5 receiver this year just because they're playing catch up every game. I like it. I'm going to give it a B+.
I'll give it a C+.
Dig it. I love the New Orleans defense late. I love Aaron Rodgers
on there because I just
a C.
Just to see.
Right.
I can't. I don't.
What did I say?
This
B+.
B+.
I like B. B. Well, I'll go B. All right, Jeremy. Jeremy used to be in a couple of our leagues. Hasn't played in a long time. Came in. He fucking made some swings at the end, but
that's the time
started the
swing.
Yeah. Well, it looks kind of Start with George Kittle in a PPR.
Great pick.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Then Miles Sanders. I'm in love with that guy this year. We'll see. Adam Thielen, Tom Brady, Kareem Hunt, T.Y. Hilton, Julian Edelman. Pittsburgh defense. Probably the number 1 or number 2 defense in the NFL. Got him in round 8.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Many points.
Twice a year. Yeah. Emmanuel Sanders, Golden Tate, Adrian Peterson. Took a kicker at round 11.
Yeah. Booker is going to get you points.
Carson Wentz, great backup. Kyle Rudolph. I don't know why the fuck you would even touch a Minnesota tight end unless you get him off waivers. And then Deshaun Jackson. The only thing he's good at is tweeting dumb
Nazi-istic
shit.
Things. So his wide receiver selection is very not great.
He peppered the board the first 5 pick. A little bit of everything.
Like Thielen is good, like number 1, great. But then you get T.Y. Hilton, who's not bad. I like T.Y. a lot.
You said you loved him.
I do, but do you really want to put him as your number 2 wide receiver? Or do you have him more as a flex option? That's where you
flex.
So
but he got him in 6.
So
what did Dave take him at, like 4 or 5?
Well, okay, so he could have had the opportunity to take Terry McLaurin, which I think would have been better. Devontae Parker, I think would have been better.
Yeah, I agree.
Marquise Brown, I probably would have taken over both T.Y. and Julian Edelman. So I think they had potential.
What do you think about Kareem Hunt in round 5? You're down on Kareem Hunt.
Where's Kareem Hunt? Why are we? Oh, he is on that team. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of the Kareem Hunt selection either. But in a PPR league, he's even better.
Okay,
because he is going to make receptions.
That's where he should go. Round 5.
Because as a dual threat running back in a PPR,
I agree.
He's going to get a lot more points because and not to mention the Browns had been lining him up in the slot position, so he'll be. That's good in a PPR.
Took a flyer on Adrian Peterson.
The Golden Tate pick
could have got him a lot later, probably. He's going to get 8 receptions a game.
Undrafted in our last round because it's not worth much out there.
Detroit, right?
No, he's New York Jets.
Fuck that.
Yeah, so I don't know about that.
30 Shades.
I do like the. This is a tough one.
C+.
The Kittle pick is really good, and you really got to like that. I agree with the C+.
Yeah.
That's a tough draft.
All right, Bree was next. She was in our draft before also. Playing against her sister. Probably have their own bet. The loser has to send boob shots to one of us. They're probably not doing that. No.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Don't tease me.
All right.
Get your boobs again.
Yeah,
Yes. I always send you my boobs.
we get maybe six people listening to our show to begin with. Let's not.
I know.
You know.
So she started with DeAndre Hopkins, and this is pick 9, right? Yeah, pick 9. DeAndre Hopkins, then Julio Jones, Melvin Gordon, Zach Ertz, Tyler Lockett, and David Montgomery. Hopefully gets healthy. J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Higbee, Kerryon Johnson, Matt Ryan, Matt Breida, Justin Jefferson, Justin Tucker, kicker, Eric Ebron, and the Chargers is her last pick, which I think is a great value
for the end of the round.
Yeah.
The downside is that you got to play the Chiefs twice a year, and they can run the score.
True, but maybe you can pick up somebody. I think the Chargers would be good against any other
team,
any team they
especially
play, except
division.
the Chiefs. On those weeks, you just stream a defense. You pick up an extra.
But the Chargers are still a great team. Derwin James, Melvin
Ingram.
Yeah. God, that defense is sick. Bosa.
They're gonna be good.
So I really like her draft, especially her first
it's very
5
balanced.
Right off the
Especially
beginning,
for a
she
PPR.
went. So DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Zach Ertz, Tyler Lockett, great players for the PPR.
Yeah.
Now we don't know exactly what's going on with Ertz. He's been hurt on and off. She's got 3.
And he's in a contract dispute too. He's waiting for a contract, I think.
So, but she's got 2 other tight ends, and I think Ebron could be really solid.
I like Higbee. Higbee.
Whatever.
David Montgomery in a PPR. Although I'm surprised he fell to round 6, it's probably good value, but he does not catch the ball.
No. The Melvin Gordon, he's not going to catch the ball either, but he is going to run. And once again, her running back situation is really questionable.
Yeah.
Hopefully J.K. Dobbins will get most carries and Ingram might get hurt. And that's what she's got to
her
hope
wide
for.
receivers are fantastic.
Yeah, her wide receiver, I like her quarterback situation, just having the one. Good for her. She's smart.
And you pick one up off waivers.
Yep. I really do like Justin Jefferson, too.
I do, too.
He's
coming in immediately, I think, going to be the number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah, they've been posting
and he'll
great
be the
impacts
fast, long guy,
Yep.
not the slot guy.
So I like the Justin Jefferson, and I really do like Eric Ebron. This is, I think, up there with Carl as one of my favorite drafts as well.
It's good. It's very balanced.
And I don't like Gordon, like Melvin Gordon. Not a big fan of him, but I still think at the 3rd round that was the right choice to go.
Yeah.
I mean, because Chris Carson.
I would rather have Chris Carson.
But she didn't get that option.
She did.
Okay,
so it's that way.
Yeah,
she could have had Carson or DJ Moore.
Could have gone.
I would have taken DJ Moore.
I would have gone with James Conner
or Dak Prescott.
I would have gone with James Conner over Melvin Gordon personally. But other than that, I really like her draft. And the poor thing is the Montgomery injury could really hurt her. So I'm going to give her a B+.
And it sucks just watching myself in the monitor giggle. It's like a little kid because I farted. Sorry.
Be professional. B+.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. B or B+ for sure. Yeah.
I like her draft. No,
right.
You.
I'm next. Reed, I went pick 10. Once again, Alvin Kamara fell
to you. So lucky.
Last draft, he fell to 5, which maybe fell one spot and it helped me out. This time, he fell all the way to 10.
In a PPR
where Kamara is a great receiver, and most of his work last year, in all years, his body work is receptions. I couldn't believe I was so lucky to get him.
Yeah.
Then I followed up with Josh Jacobs because I got to have at least 2 bell cows.
That's such a sexy
And Josh Jacobs, what they're writing about is he wants to have at least 60 receptions this year, which would be fantastic in a PPR, and a shitload of yards and touchdowns. I think Josh Jacobs is going to be one of the best running backs this year.
Yeah.
Then DJ Moore, Allen Robinson. I had to go 2 wideouts.
I like the DJ Moore.
Yeah. I know you're not in love with Allen Robinson. I think he'll get enough work in Chicago. No matter who throws.
Whenever he had that huge season with Blake Bortles with the Jaguars, and ever since then, you've been high on Allen Robinson. Years ago.
Yeah.
You got to let that go.
There's a lot of hype on him, but I got him in round 4. I'm okay with that. And then I can't believe Kyler Murray, I got in round 5. Steven drafted him in round 4 in the draft before. I got him around later.
Yep.
I love Kyler Murray.
And you remember Rich actually
Yeah.
questioned me on that.
Yeah. And I was like, no, that's a great value. And I got him around later this time. I'm in love with it. My quarterback is set. I'm good. Jonathan Taylor is set to actually be the starter in He's getting first-team reps.
Yeah.
Ronald Jones, I'm in love with. Deontay Johnson, we'll see. It's the number 2 wide receiver. Tariq Cohen, the receiving running back for the Bears. I think he'll be good. New England
defense.
Yeah, New England. I got later. I missed out on Buffalo the round before, but I took New England.
Great defense.
I think it'll be good. They play in a shit division, and actually they always score points defense against Buffalo. So I'll start them every week. My first tight end off the board, Jonnu Smith. I'm okay with it. I probably should have taken a second tight end just in case, but we'll see. Preston Williams, I love it at PPR. Gets a lot of receptions. Nikhil Harry took a flyer. We'll see.
You can take a chance on him. I mean, he's got talent.
Yeah. And then Daniel Jones, I love his backup. I mean, I think he could be a starter in most fantasy teams. And the kicker coup, which I've always loved. I had him last year.
So I think you went too many running backs.
Cuckoo.
I think
you could never have too many running backs.
I think you went too many running backs to the wide receiver ratio on your team. Like, I would have probably not taken Ronald Jones and gotten another wide receiver instead.
Because it's a PPR? Because my first 2 are very PPR friendly running backs.
And I love your first 2 running backs. Like, those are very sexy picks. Like, your first 5 picks.
Jonathan Taylor or Ronald Jones will be my flex player. And I'm okay with that.
Jacobs, Moore, Murray, Taylor. Love those.
I think it's very solid.
I like the idea behind Deontay Johnson and Tariq Cohen, because Cohen will do everything. He's a very PPR friendly running back. For Chicago. And Preston Williams, I think he is extremely solid. I probably would have gone, at least instead of Ronald Jones, probably gone tight end early and grabbed
I should have gone
tight end, maybe like a Cook or Hooper or something like that. But I'm also not sold on Jones.
It's a fucking hummus.
I'm going to give you a B+ on this one. I like it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll give myself an A-, but that's just.
I do like your pick. I think that you've got the good parts where they need to be. But Allen Robinson, Jones are the only 2 questions.
I like this draft better than my last one, and I think only because Kamara fell to me.
So let's talk about that. How the fuck did that happen? Like, I gave Jeff Henry on purpose because I knew that we were in a non-PPR league. And I was like, fuck that.
You're like, well, I can beat him later.
Best running back available is still him.
It was.
And so I had no problem doing that. But, why did Dave not go Kamara?
I don't know.
That.
And Jeremy could have, or Bree. I was so shocked when she took Hopkins. I was like, oh my god, it's going to happen again. I'm going to get Kamara. But now I'm married to Kamara pretty much in 2 leagues.
I was literally looking either between Kamara and Thomas for myself, and I just told myself, no, I know that what I can get with Thomas, he's solid. I'm going that route. I was just, fuck it, we're doing Thomas. But I mean, the fact that he dropped that far is shocking to me. And you got the steal of the draft, if you ask me.
I think so too,
pick.
yeah.
That is, God, 8 or 10? That's insane.
Pick 10. I guarantee every mock draft I've seen, he didn't fall out of the top 5 at all. He's going before Michael Thomas in every mock draft I've done.
Yeah, same here. But then again, the mock drafts have Mahomes going in round 3 too. So
true. All right, so number 11 was Amber. By this time, this is our second draft. Half-point PPR. Amber's had a couple cocktails. Now she's really in my ear, and now I'm right next to her again. We're in both, and I'm like, oh, you want this guy? Trust me. So start out with Devontae Adams, pretty solid in the PPR. Tyreek Hill.
God, those are 2 great wideouts.
I know they are. They're fantastic. I can't believe both of them lasted long. Chris Carson, Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Swift, Terry McLaurin. It's a great pick. Tevin Coleman, Hunter Henry, Christian Kirk. LA Rams, we kind of talked her into that one. I think they're going to be great. Aaron Donald's a beast. And they have the great corner, too.
The problem is that that division is so stacked.
It is.
With great offenses. So it's it's
But
really
their defense just needs to score some points. They don't have to win the
win
game.
the games.
Yeah. Just sacks and picks is going to get you enough points. And they're very talented on that side of the ball. Marlon Mack.
Wilson doesn't throw interceptions, though.
No, true. Marlon Mack, Anthony Miller, Blake Jarwin, great late round tight end. Baker Mayfield, and then Badgley's kicker.
So, 1 and 2, her first pick.
Solid.
I love that wide receiver situation. And then Terry McLaurin.
I can't believe the guy next after didn't grab Hill
instead of Kelsey. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Terry McLaurin as her flex is extremely sexy.
I love it.
Her running back situation is questionable. Chris Carson is I don't trust, but I like DeAndre Swift.
He'll be good as an RB1 on her team. DeAndre Swift is going to have to win that job. And
Tevin Coleman is once again we're trying to figure out what he's going to do.
Yeah.
So her running back situation is questionable.
That's the San Francisco guy, right? There's like 3 running backs there that are
Raheem Mostert, him and Jerick McKinnon. I mean, it's a
mess. I don't want to touch anyone at that backfield.
So, I mean, running back wise, she's got a lot of questions. She's really going to have to find help there. But I mean, other than that, her team's pretty
Hunter
solid.
Henry's a pretty solid tight end at 8.
And then Jarwin, if she's got problems with
Dude, I think Jarwin is going to be a sleeper. I think Jarwin could be a top 10 tight end.
Yeah, easily.
And especially in a PPR.
Oh, especially in the PPR. And this is Marlon Mack.
I love Baker Mayfield. Her pick before her last one as a backup. I took him in a draft last year as my number 1 quarterback. Probably around 6 or 7.
Idiot.
Horrible.
Idiot.
But as a backup, I think he's going to improve this year. I think he's a good backup quarterback.
He's got
you use him 1 week maybe.
Yeah,
maybe 2.
I'm not even going to comment on backup quarterbacks because it's not even a necessity.
Because you didn't take one in this one.
It doesn't. You don't need one.
Yeah.
And pick one up. I'll pick up somebody on waivers.
You will. Yeah.
But Marlon Mack's questionable because you know that Jonathan Taylor's going to be their one. Marlon Mack's probably going to lose time. And their receiving running back is Naheem Hines.
It is. So Marlon Mack's an afterthought.
Exactly. I would have probably gone with Hines over Mack in a PPR league.
I would have too, but maybe a round or
the
last pick. He didn't even get drafted.
Yeah, he would be available. The Marlon Mack is definitely very tough.
Marlon Mack
is going to give her a B.
Yeah.
And mainly because of her 1, 2, 4.
I'll give her a B.
Because her McLaurin, Adams, Hill, and Watson alone, and Henry in a PPR league, that's good.
Do you notice we haven't given anyone a D at all?
Well, it's because I told you I'm not going to give anybody.
Oh, but I would have.
You've given somebody a D.
Did I? Who was it? Was it BJ or Dave?
Oh,
Demise? Oh, yeah, you probably deserve that. I wouldn't have given him a D.
I don't know, but I know that you said D because at that point I told you I'm not going to give anybody a D. I'm just going to C minus.
The draft before there were 2 players you got a D, but
whatever. Okay.
Whatevs. All right, Rich.
Down to the end once again.
Yep. 12th pick again is second.
His first 4 picks were the exact same as the last
one.
round.
All 4 were?
Yep. I don't know if they're the same order, but.
At the end, pick number 12, Rich went Travis Kelce, then Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Dak Prescott, James Conner, Cortland Sutton, Devontae Parker, Mike Williams. I love that run of wide receivers. Those are great.
Great wideouts.
He got great available. Baltimore defense after that. Damian Harris, running back for New England. He is getting first-team reps right now.
Yep, I've read a lot about it. I picked him up in my family league because of...
I have him in my other league, and I got him way...
late. I think he was like second to last pick.
Yeah, but I think he's worth it there. Yeah. Sonny Michel is... He's going to be... I don't know if he might not make the team.
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, Mike Litsky, Zach Moss. Way late for Zach Moss, but it's a PPR. Curtis Samuel. I don't know who the fuck. Oh, that's the number 2 for Panthers. Greg Zuerlein. Then Antonio Gibson took a flyer on.
He's done that on both leagues.
Okay.
He took Gibson at the end. So his wide receiving core, for the fact that he
solid as fuck.
Kelsey, and then no receiver for the next 3 rounds, and then was able to grab Sutton, Parker, and Williams. That is extremely amazing. Were they swapped? Okay. But they were the same 4.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I think his team is solid.
I really did. Like, where you get the questions at are going to be the running back situation.
I like him. Connor and Hilaire. I mean,
we don't know what Hilaire can do.
Yeah,
and
but
everybody is so
I like the upside.
He's got a high roof.
At 12, I would fire away on that.
I am a Chiefs fan, and I would take him in a second-round pick.
Who would you take instead of that?
Jacobs.
You would take
I would have taken Tyreek Hill. I would have gone Kelsey and Hill in an instant.
Yeah, I probably would have too. But I like that he likes to roll the dice.
So like it
Dak Prescott
could be huge. I mean, for all we know, CEH could be the greatest running back in the world and could be the next Kareem Hunt for the Chiefs.
And he's a great receiver.
He drops.
I'll give him an A. Not even an A minus, an A. I love that draft.
I love his wide receiver situation enough to where I'm
that's a team we need to worry about.
Yeah, I'm going to give him an A as well. I really like Rich. I think it's going to be in this league.
You like Rich or Rich's draft?
I like Rich and Carl in this championship game, and I think Carl will win out.
I don't know about that.
I like Carl's draft a lot.
I like it too. Yeah,
I really like the way he drafted. Like it is just
it is
especially for a PPR. Like I like Carl's draft.
We'll see. Like I said before, it's all about how you work waivers.
Yeah, it does come down to waivers.
And I think, and this happens every year, and we've talked about it in other years of the show, other football seasons. Pretty much your first 6 rounds, maybe 7. Anything after that, they won't be on your team this time at the end of the year.
No,
they're all going to change.
First 4 rounds half the time, even.
Everything else is going to change. You're going to drop and add.
Injuries happen at all times.
All the time.
You need coffee? Oh, the COVID. That's the big
that
thing,
too. And that's why we did 15 rounds. So in both drafts, so you have a little. You could put somebody not on IR, but you can bench them without having to drop them. Yeah. So we'll be back in 2 weeks, hopefully.
Yeah, like all in all,
it's going to be a different season than we've ever seen before.
So different this year, and it's going to be interesting, and it'll be fun to see it play out. I guess
it will, and there'll be some strategy involved with the COVID thing, and
it's going to be
like if you hear like a coach or staff member in Dallas has COVID and may have spread it.
You're taking maybe you want everybody on your Dallas team, bench them.
Yeah, or go pick somebody, or maybe he went out and partied with Ezekiel. That you go pick up his backup immediately.
Yeah, Ezekiel does like his nachos.
Well, he's already had COVID once.
Yeah, this definitely.
Hopefully, it smartened him up.
This may be the year not to have a bunch of players from one team on your team.
Yeah.
Yes, good point. Which you should do anyway because of bye weeks. But I always disregard that when I draft. I'm like, fuck it, I want the best player. I don't care about bye weeks. If I have to lose 1 week to win the rest of them,
never pay attention to bye weeks for some reason. And it fucks me over every single year.
No, come on. But you're just risking 1 week. Like I'm not going to pass on Kyler Murray in the 5th round because he has the same bye week as my wide receiver. If that happened, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the best player available.
Yeah, I do every
time.
Like
if Brady took Kyler, fucks you for 1 week.
Yeah, and I can handle 1 week of losses.
Can you handle 1 week of
by that time, I'll be 0-5, and I will be giving up on everything.
If this happens, if there's a COVID outbreak, then you lose that. How long do you lose that team for? I mean,
well, not the whole team. They'll quarantine the player. So hopefully, and everyone gets tested once a day.
Yeah. Constantly.
Except for the whole thing of, was it 70 some, or I don't remember the number of false positives. There were like 7 Bills players, and they had to quarantine all because the lab fucked up. Hopefully they got that worked out now. But
we'll figure shit out. It's the NFL. It's one of the most biggest companies in America, right?
Or in the world. Yeah.
So I mean, we'll figure shit out.
Guys, got anything else?
I don't. I'm good. Stir of Echoes is pretty badass. That's all I got.
Oh, did you just watch that for the first time ever? I've watched that a long time ago. It's a great movie.
It's like it's literally The Sixth Sense.
It's a great movie.
But it came out a month after The Sixth Sense, and nobody talks about it.
Theaters are open now, so we're going to see some movies.
Perfect. But
all right.
I got nothing else.
Thanks for watching. Follow us on every platform you watch.
iTunes, Spotify.
Yeah. And
Facebook. Hey guys, leave us comments.
We have video on Facebook that'll be up
I want comments, guys. If you guys are online and you're seeing us on Facebook, please leave us some comments. Tell us what you like, what you want to hear from us. Talk trash on what we've done on our drafts. We don't care. We want to hear what you guys, how you guys are reacting to what we are saying on here.
Yeah, tell us our team sucks or it's good or we're too hard on Melissa.
Or tell us who you would have drafted instead or stuff like that.
Our YouTube channel.
Channel. We've got a YouTube channel. You can leave comments there.
It's worst and 10.
And
spelled out.
And spelled out. Good.
Yeah, the and is spelled out. A and D. Worse than 10.
Just like up there.
Yep. Don't put drive in though.
But yeah, please leave us some comments. Let us know you guys are listening. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. We have 2 more drafts this Sunday, so and we'll break those apart too.
Yeah, total of 5. The hell did he?